So far, I have covered a lot of tech on Chun-Li on my channel, and today I'd like to talk about things that I would like to get to see buffed on her. And don't get me wrong, I think Chun-Li is in a relatively good spot, but there's some glaring issues with this character that you only realize once you play her, and if you play her enough. And today I'm gonna talk about that. First off, the very obvious way to buff Chun-Li would be to give her throw loops, like almost everybody else has, except her and E Honda. And basically, if you didn't know how throw loops work, is basically once you throw them, you're able to throw them again if they jab, but Chun-Li and E Honda for some reason can't do that. And it's very good offense because walking back beats throw teching or jabbing at the same time, and the enemy is not incentivized to press anything because they're basically gonna die if they do, and it's very risky for them. So that would be like the first way to obviously buff Chun-Li, but personally I would like to remove throw loops entirely. But since I don't think that's likely to happen, I would just like it if she had one as well. Next up, we have one of her signature buttons which I would like to get buffed, which is her standing heavy punch. Now don't get me wrong, I understand that in older games this button used to be ham and it basically won her neutral in like half of the matchups. But I think they went a bit too ham on this button and it became relatively useless for Chun-Li because she always has a better option than doing her standing heavy punch. Now the first problem with this button is up close. If you do it, it's -4, so you're getting punish countered. And if you whiff it, it has a shit ton of recovery, so you're basically getting punished as well. Which basically means you need to space it perfectly to use it. And also, if you try to drive rush from it, you're basically only safe if you don't do anything. If you try to go for stand stuff, it still gets you punish counter. So it's really hard to use this button because even if you try to drive rush to it, she has better options like her crouching heavy punch, which gets her a frame trap if you want. So there's literally like no reason to do this from a drive rush. In neutral also it's really hard to do. So personally I would like it to have at least like 2 frames less of recovery. So at least it's like -2. It's still risky to do here, but at least you're not getting punished. Also, another thing that I think is really bad, which is not actually that bad, but because the move moves you forward when you do it, if the enemy preemptively jumps you, it's basically really hard to defend because you do not know if the enemy is going to cross up or land in front of you. And it's basically a guess on defense, so it makes it also really risky to do if the enemy likes to jump, which is fine in my opinion, but I would like to see it at least have a bit less recovery. Alright, next up I have a quality of life change that I think a lot of players that play Chun-Li would like, and that is basically to give her the option of doing raw specials from her stance. And I think this would open up her neutral game a lot, give her more options, and also give her stance a purpose. So if you didn't know, her stance can actually go under fireballs, but if the enemy sees you sitting like this, they can basically just jump you and you cannot do anything against it other than try to anti with this, which is actually really unreliable. But if she could cancel into a anti that she has, her stance would be a lot better in neutral and it would give her a lot more mind games. Obviously I wouldn't let her do Hazanshu for example from this, but at least like her anti or maybe her fireball from the raw stance without actually needing to connect a stance button prior to that. So I think that would be a really good quality of life change, and I think a lot of people would like that. And next up we have a thing that I think is specifically annoying if you play Chun-Li. And basically if you didn't know it, Chun-Li has like one of the worst light normal ranges in the entire game, and I'm gonna prove it to you right now. So basically all of her light normals are fast, but they don't reach far, and she has basically one of the worst. Her and Rashid are the only characters that cannot punish this with light normals. Jamie can with DP, but I'm gonna show you the example first. So basically if DJ walks up in your face point blank and does his crouching medium kick, it's -6. And technically Chun-Li should be able to punish this with her light or medium buttons because she has a lot of fast buttons, but she's actually the only character that can't do that. And literally every single button cannot reach DJ after he does this point blank in your face. And other characters can, which is really annoying. Now, the only way to punish this is actually really hard with Chun-Li. So basically have to micro walk for 1 frame and then do light kick, which is really annoying for some reason. And she can't even EX-DP this because it whiffs. So basically nothing works. I've tested everything. And basically with all characters, literally every single one has a punish, except Chun-Li and Rashid, which basically have to do the micro walk 1 frame and then do her standing light kick, or for Rashid it's standing jab, I think. So it's really annoying, and I think her standing light kick should have at least a bit more range so it reaches if you block this thing point blank. And that'll be it for this change. And the last buff that I would like Chun-Li to receive is skins, baby. I can't believe that Capcom actually announced a batch of skins and there's like no Chun-Li skin in it, which is basically the character that sells the most skins for Street Fighter. And I like a bit of variety, so I know all Chun-Li skins actually look really good, so whatever they give me, I'm gonna be fine with it. But I think this character is in grave need for more skins. Don't get me wrong, I do like her default outfit and her classic in this one. Basically, I like the classic more. But I would like to see some Chun-Li skins, and I think everybody that plays this character would as well. That's like the biggest buff. You can take everything away that I mentioned before. I just want skins, but I'll be fine with anything, to be honest. And that'll be it for this video. If you have any other recommendations or buffs that you think Chun-Li should receive, please leave them in the comment section down below. And also, if you like this video, please hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!